Usain Bolt!
Cleveland! This is for you!
Remember the name!
Sports Talk Zone. Welcome back to another week of Sports Talk Zone. I am your host Ranorjah along with Mickhail, and this week we'll start off with football as usual. Liverpool versus Manchester United, which ended in 4-0 for Liverpool. How did you feel about that game, Mickhail?
Well, this one came as no surprise because I had predicted that.
Yes, you indeed called it. You called it. I must say, you indeed did so.
And this was being a Manchester United supporter to predict your side to get 4 and it actually comes through. Oh boy. But this was really a schooling. It was more men against boys. No matter what United tried, it just never seemed to work because they even tried a different formation with Rashford up front. But
they also tried to bench Harry Maguire.
But trust me, as the game began, Liverpool was on a rampage, scoring early within the first 5 minutes of the game. And they just continued to score from there. 22nd minute, 68th minute, 85th minute. It was just all Liverpool. As I said, men against boys in this game. Liverpool showing their class. As I said, Manchester United is just name they have. It's not anything of a top quality team at this point in time where they are. It's a mid-table team. Liverpool showing their dominance. Trust me, Liverpool didn't have to go so hard, but they did what they had to do on 3 points. I don't know.
I have a question for you. Do you think Paul Pogba quit on the team?
He has quit a long time since he has made those statements saying that he came to win, and it's, he's not winning anything. And he's making it public he wants to go to Madrid come next season or probably PSG. Who's to tell? But he doesn't play with the heart. Well, you can argue no one out there is playing with any heart, but he's barely doing anything on the pitch at this point in time. He's just existing.
I would agree with that. I was surprised that he opted just to walk off the pitch at that moment. Normally you get an injury sometime, and in my opinion, I am not a doctor or anything, but it just seemed like it wasn't so serious that he couldn't at least try to play through it and then see if he needs to come off the pitch. But he just decided that, hey man, pretty much like F this. We know what kind of day it's going to be. I don't want to be a part of it. And walked off the pitch. I felt like he indeed quit on the team in that moment.
Hey, Liverpool, City, class above the rest. Manchester United, I'm kind of tired of talking about them for now, honestly.
Have to talk about them because they are the biggest club in England, ain't it?
The new beating stick of the Premier League.
I indeed agree with you. It seems like everyone is looking forward to playing Manchester United. All right, let's move on to Chelsea versus Arsenal. Arsenal managed to do the impossible, beating Chelsea 4-2. Give me your thought.
Well, I did tell you, coming off 3 straight defeats, I knew this would not have happened. I was thinking more of a drop. I did not see that victory for Arsenal because, it's Chelsea, but hey, a couple defensive errors for Chelsea caused that game to go the way it did, in my opinion, because even the first goal, it was a mistake by Christian, gave away that early goal. Chelsea came right back in it. Then Arsenal went up back 2-1. Then it was 2-2, 3-2. But it was a very exciting end-to-end game for the neutrals. I love watching games like these when I don't have a particular team because either team score, I'm just enjoying the game of football. But it was very open, few defensive errors, but it's a good game to watch. Arsenal showing a little fight, because coming from 3 defeats on the trot, find a way to come back, getting this victory. I know you don't like to big up Arsenal anytime they do well, but good victory for them, trying to secure that top 4 spot.
You think this was a statement victory?
Not really, honestly. As I said, to me, it's more of errors by Chelsea that allowed Arsenal to win this game than Arsenal outplaying Chelsea.
So
To me.
Pretty much say it was luck.
Basically, when it's just your day, man. And it was just Arsenal day.
Very fortunate for Arsenal. All right, let's move on to, I guess you could say, the game of the weekend. Arsenal versus Manchester United. Arsenal defeated Manchester United 3-1. What do you think about that game? That was a game that was supposed to be for top 4. Give me your opinion.
Boy. Well, coming off that 4-0 defeat and Arsenal fresh off their 3-2 victory against Chelsea, I was saying, how will this game go? I don't see Arsenal winning back-to-back. Honestly, that's how I saw it when the game began. I was thinking probably it would be a draw, but right as the game began, bam, there you go. Arsenal went up in the opener in 3 minutes. And then you're saying, oh my God, Manchester United, here we go again. And then they went down 2-0. But then the great Christie brought them back into the game.
The Lord and Savior of Manchester United.
For this season. Or Christie scoring, United not winning. What happened there, Ranorjah? What happened there?
The theory still stands. Because even though Manchester United did not win, the theory stands because if Christie score and y'all win, then it's for the theory not to stand, you guys will have to win without a Cristiano Ronaldo goal.
And when I saw that goal, I was saying, is there going to be a comeback? But honestly,
could have been.
Exactly. United was very unfortunate. Dallas hit the post.
I would not call him unfortunate.
Really? Hitting the post twice because even
that don't make you unfortunate.
You should have scored. Why?
You should score the goal then. Hitting the post, so that make you unfortunate.
Because if the ball had gone over just a couple more inches, possibly it would have been a goal. But hats off to Arsenal. In this game, I could say they were actually better than United because they capitalized on their chances. Even that was a splendid goal by Xhaka. It was like out of nowhere, just a screamer. And that was basically the nail in the coffin for United right then and there. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty much saying that this United team, I think they have given up for the rest of the season. I personally think they would rather the season end pretty much right now, today, and they'll be good. Because in my opinion, Arsenal did not outplay United significantly. They just took their chances. Because as I said, you guys got a couple of chances that should have probably could have said should have scored. My biggest issue with that game was when it came down to the penalty for Manchester United to level the game. No way on earth should Bruno Fernandes be stepping up to take that penalty. Is Bruno Fernandes on form?
Not right now.
Is Bruno Fernandes playing the best football right now for Manchester United?
Not right now. But what I want to say...
You got to give it to the hot foot.
But I didn't see him go... But I didn't see he went to take the ball. That's what I was wondering. Because normally would have seen him go and take the ball.
Well, I would be speculating that this was stated maybe by the coach that it's Bruno to take penalty or something of that sort. But the truth is that should have been a Ronaldo penalty. Come on. Who else was looking like they were actually playing in that Manchester United? And Ronaldo was the only person that looked good for Manchester United in that game.
And goes back, who else is scoring for Manchester United?
Yeah, come on.
No one else. And as I said, if that penalty would have scored, maybe the game would have a different outcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Never know. You understand? Because as I said, it wasn't like Arsenal significantly outplayed Manchester United. Arsenal only took their chances. Manchester United, I would say in the second half, was the better team in sense of pressure, right? Arsenal just scored. That's it.
Yeah, Manchester United was creating a couple chances and playing.
Yeah, they were the one that was
football.
Pressing more. They were the one on the front foot more. So they cost themselves that game. All right, let's move on to Everton losing 2-0 to Liverpool and falling in the relegation zone now, Mickhail. Are you buying into Everton going down now?
Well, you did say that. You think they're going down. And
I didn't say I
see it right now.
I did not say I think. I assure you.
Well, you predict them to go down, and where they are in the standing right now, sitting at 18 with 29 points. And looking at their remaining fixtures, they have Chelsea,
Tough.
Leicester, Watford, Brentford, Palace, and Arsenal. I'm seeing them losing a possible 1, 2, 3, 4, probably even 4, maybe even 5. Probably just Watford and Brentford, they might have a chance, I'll say.
And Brentford is playing excellent. So it all depends on the form that they catch Brentford in. Brentford currently is playing very good. The Watford game can probably be a toss-up because both of them are fighting relegation.
Exactly. So it really looks sticky. And
Arsenal
Everton
fighting for top 4. So you know that's going to be a tough game too.
Yeah, man. I having them losing to Chelsea, Leicester, Arsenal, and probably Palace. But trust me, it's looked dark for Everton. I didn't want to say Everton, but right now it looks like they will be going down. I'm on your side.
I have stated from earlier. Everton absolutely going down. As I said, I don't see many players in the team that have been through like situations like this that know how to, fight a relegation battle. And plus, I don't have any faith in the coach. I just don't believe that Frank Lampard is good enough to coach a team out of being relegated. I don't think Frank Lampard is a Premier League coach overall. That's my opinion. But let's see how the season finishes. I think they are going down. Absolutely. No doubt about it. All right, let's move on to some cricket now, Mickhail. We haven't discussed this in a while, but it has reported that Kieran Pollard, the West Indies captain for ODI and T20, have decided to retire from international cricket. This came as a surprise to many people. What do you think about his retirement?
This came as a surprise to most persons. It's not like we're actually coming up to a series or anything. It's just in the middle of nothing just to say, hey, I'm retiring. There has been speculations in terms of trouble in the camp between players, especially him and Odin Smith. But, for a long time, I've been telling you, it's time for Pollard to go. For his career, let me give you his career stats first. Career in ODI, he has played 123 games, scoring 2,706 runs, a high score of 119. The last time this man made 100 in ODI was in 2013. That was the last time. And he has played T20, 101 matches for West Indies at an average of 25 and a high score of 75. So I'm saying it's not anything wow. He was on the back end of his career as far as I was concerned. He will give you a good innings today, and then probably for the rest of the next 3-4 games, mediocre.
I disagree. You come back with
always
this same nonsense. This is not true. Look at these stats since he became captain. The stats since he became captain is I would speculate. I don't have the numbers right now, but I would speculate that it is better than when he wasn't captain. Many a times he's the one that come and save West Indies from being in a bad spot. Many a time.
Well,
he's pretty much, I wouldn't say the most consistent, but I think he's consistent enough since being captain.
Yeah, consistent for West Indies standard, but not on an international basis. He's probably the best player for West Indies, but come on, man.
Chill out, son. You're bugging right now.
But I believe that maybe they would have asked him to probably step down as captain, but he, being who he is, one of the most senior players in the team, probably would not want to exactly and continue playing, especially under the captaincy of other younger players. So maybe that's why he just retired overall rather than to sit there.
Okay. As I say, that's what we are doing now is all speculation. But whatever is the reason behind the decision, I hope it's for the betterment of himself first. And I am also hoping that whoever West Indies decided to give the captaincy to, I'm speculating that it will most likely be Puran, that I have been calling for a long time. I've always questioned if Puran is a better captain than Pollard. But a lot of people that I spoke to say the sample size was too small to make that statement. So I think the T20 and ODI team is still in good and still got a lot of talent in the team. So I don't think Kieran Pollard deciding to retire really hurt the team in a significant way. So yeah, It's whatever, in my opinion. Did it hurt the team in any crazy way? I don't see it.
Well, no, especially since we have several young players coming up like Odin Smith, Ranorjah Shepherd. They have a similar style of being all-rounders who can hit the ball just as Pollard. So those quick fire 30s or 40s that are 20s that he'll come and give you. We have persons who are capable of doing that right now.
All right, let's move on to Joe Root stepping down as England captain. This was being talked about. A lot of people was saying that maybe he should give up the captaincy and focus more on his batting. But how do you feel about him giving up the captaincy as England captain?
Joe Root, after captaining England after 5 years, he would have captained, I think, 64 matches, winning 27 of them. I don't think his form dipped whilst being captain. It's just that England.
Well,
team,
it's not about Joe Root form. It's about the form of England.
Exactly, and that's where I was going to get at, because I was alluding to what you said earlier in terms of probably focusing more on his batting. But if you check his 2021 stats, he scored 1,700. Exactly.
Yep.
He had the most runs for the calendar year, 600, 450s, and
won the Wisden
himself
Trophy
for the Test cricketer of the year.
Yep.
But unfortunately, in all of that effort, England in their last 17 match only won one game. They lost horribly in the Ashes, and even coming to the West Indies and losing that series as well after that Ashes loss. So to me, the England team is not a good team as it is right now.
That is it. I think England are the cricket board, the English cricket board, or whoever is making these decisions, think that this team should be doing better. I'm being straight up with you. This team and West Indies is on the same level. This English team is not that great. If you look in the batting lineup, you maybe find, outside of Joe Root, maybe two other person averaging like 30 plus. It's not a good batting lineup. Then you look at the bowling, all of these bowlers are pretty young and new, right? They went away from Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson, which I think was a foolish move. I think when you go into a country like Australia, you want players that have been there and done it before. You want experienced players. Should have brought those players, right? In the Caribbean, same thing. It's like in my opinion, it's like they force out those bowlers instead of like letting them be able to actually move away from the game eventually. Because I think Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson is better than Marco. Marco got pace, right? But I don't see Marco picking up a fiver pretty often, right? I know the bowling lineup also missed Jofra. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But come on, man. This I'm telling you, this England team is not as good as they want to think. This England team, the only team this England team is probably better than is Zimbabwe. I'm being real, because I would say they're equal to West Indies. I wouldn't say they're better than West Indies. They're equal to West Indies, right? Bangladesh is better than them. Sri Lanka better than them. South Africa, we don't even need to talk about Australia, New Zealand, and India, Pakistan. Those teams, we don't even need to talk about them. But I'm telling you, Zimbabwe is the only team that this England team can say they are absolutely better than. No other team. I don't think that should be the fault of the captain.
It's based on the quality of the team, and he's getting the backlash, but that's how it goes. If the team performs, the captain gets the praise. When the team doesn't perform, the captain gets the bashing. He himself has performed well, and there's so much he can do. So it's very unfortunate. Stepping aside, I'm wondering who will they give it to? Ben Stokes? Because I don't see anybody else deserving of it.
That's the speculation that they will give it to Ben Stokes. And I'm telling you, it's going to be the same results. Same exact results. Nothing won't change. Come on. England, you need better batsmen, better bowlers. It's that simple. Let's move on to some basketball now, Mickhail. Playoff is in full swing. And let's talk about some of the series. Let's talk about the Miami-Atlanta series. You had predicted that it would end in a gentleman's sweep for Miami. Looking very likely right now. Give me some thoughts about that series.
Well, Miami's balling, playing some Good basketball. Trae Young can't do it alone. You think them going to the Eastern Conference Finals was a fluke?
Last year?
Yes.
Oh, good question. People said the same thing about Miami Heat in the bubble. I'm not going to call it a fluke. No, I won't say it's a fluke. I just think that maybe this team, I struggle a little with injuries, so that probably played a factor. But this Trae Young playing the same way this year like he played last year. I think last year it was a bit better. But I don't know. I don't want to see it as a fluke. It's hard to just... to beat Philadelphia, to beat, well, the Knicks sucks. But to beat these teams, it would hard just to say it's a fluke. I think they were playing well at the time. I don't want to call it a fluke. You think it was a fluke? I think you think it's a fluke.
I'm wondering because based on what's happening now, they barely made it to the playoff and then basically gonna get, as I said, gentlemen sweep in the first round. So
basketball is a thing that can change like the snap of a finger from here to here. Yeah,
Pearson's gonna argue probably through Clint Capellan's out. That's affecting them. Maybe if he's there, it will be a different thing.
Possible. All right, let's talk about the Philly-Toronto series. What are you seeing there?
Well, Sixers gonna win that one.
Do you believe that the Sixers can make it all the way to the finals?
Well, based on what we're seeing right now, I highly doubt it. But what I always realize with playoff is like a team versus a particular team look a particular way, but versus a next team they look totally different.
I remember matchups. Yes.
I remember when Pacers dragged LeBron to 7 games, and then the next round they swept the Toronto Raptors. So the first round you went 7 games, but yet you were able to sweep the quote-unquote better team. So as I said, how I'm seeing them playing right now, they're not looking like a dominant force who can unstoppable.
Is James Harden washed? That's the real question.
James Harden doesn't know how to perform in big pressure situation. That's his problem.
All right, let's talk about Milwaukee and Chicago Bulls. Your Bulls team that you claimed that was going to go to 7 games, you said?
I was expecting more from them to push the Bucks, but I don't know. Even with Middleton out, I was expecting more from them. I guess they were just flashy and hype, but Giannis just too dominant, man. Just too good.
I thought Milwaukee would have swept them, but look like it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep. All right, surprise series for most of us. Boston Celtics versus Brooklyn Nets. We thought this was going to be a 7-game series, but it looked like we were wrong.
Oh my gosh. The Brooklyn Nets, the only team in the playoff who has yet to win one single game.
And
everybody else has won.
And don't forget, this team was the favorite.
The beginning of the season, yes.
Even at some point during the season, and also they were the favorite to come out of the East.
The Celtics surely have something to say about that one. Trust me, in watching this series, you can see how they're playing Kevin Durant. They actually...
Where is KD?
That's it. They're playing exceptional defense on him and making it hard for him. If you look, it's other players who have to be scoring majority of the points. Bruce Brown. Because even when KD doesn't have the ball, there's basically a man there guarding him, right on him close, so he can't even get the ball. They're just marking him.
Do you believe that this could have been LeBron?
Nah, man, nah. It is what it is. Celtics, honestly, Celtics is surprising me, even though they finished second. They
shouldn't be surprising you. You had picked them to be in the runnings. I think you did.
No, but I didn't expect them to be this good. Trust me. Just watching them, if it's not Tatum, and Tatum is balling. I had Booker over Tatum, but right now I think I might have Tatum over Booker. He's balling, but
he's just a knee-jerk person.
No, man.
Anything is, yo, that man there. Man drop 40 to my, yo, that man there.
But with the Celtics, you have Tatum, you have Brown, you have Smart. It's a good team. I like the team.
All right, let's jump over to the West. Memphis Grizzlies versus Minnesota Timberwolves.
Man, I'm kind of disappointed in Memphis because I expected them to actually dominate Timberwolves, even though the Timberwolves took the early lead in the series. But yeah, the series currently tied 2-2. Timberwolves winning the last game, even though it was a very close game. But I needed to step up and take over this series now because even Karl Anthony Towns isn't playing well and they're still in the mix. Needs to take over and dominate.
All right, let's go with Golden State Warriors versus Denver Nuggets.
And it's going as we would have predicted. Warriors up 3-1. Denver winning today, luckily, because they almost threw away that game. But yeah, the next game, Golden State's gonna win. End of it for Denver Nuggets.
All right, this was the series that we predicted that there might be a 7-game series, and also it will end disappointed for one of these superstars. Dallas Maverick versus Utah Jazz.
Yeah, and it's basically going neck and neck because it's currently tied at 2 apiece.
Yes.
And Luka is back, so I think with Luka back, Mavs will take it home.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know. There's just something about Utah Jazz that I think when it comes to the playoff, they just bottle it all the time. Even when they were the number 1 seed, they come in the playoff and they just collapse. So
every year.
Yeah, I'm picking Mavericks too, because the fact that the Mavericks was able to win 2 games without Luka, right? And even the game that Jazz won, I can't say it was a fortunate situation, right? It was a very fortunate
by 1 point.
Yeah, it was a very fortunate situation. All right, Phoenix Suns versus New Orleans Pelicans.
Well,
no Devin Booker for game 3 and 4. That's probably for the rest of the series. Too. You never know.
Do you think the Suns have enough to get past the Pelicans without Booker?
Yeah, I do. I look at it this way. Chris Paul is just a outright leader, right? He knows how to galvanize a group and get them to buy in and do what's necessary to win games. I think he can do it with the guys he have without Booker, because he used the Thunders to bring, was it Houston? The 7 games. This was when Houston was one of the better teams in the league. So I have no doubt that he can pull these young guys through. And I think this maybe 4-2 to the Suns.
Right, because the last game out, Chris Paul took over that game and led them to victory. He was like, yo, I gotta step up, and he went out and ball.
And that concludes it for another week of Sports Talk Zone. You can find us on all streaming platforms and also on YouTube. And you can also follow us on Instagram at Sports Talk Zone 876.